Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the Q&A for Thoughts and Prayers. I'm really excited to have Lisa Gold here with us today. She's the director of the movie, and I'm really excited to just kind of get some insight into what her inspiration was for making this movie and some of the behind the scenes details. So I'm very excited. I just did want to start off by thanking our sponsors of this film and of the festival. For this film, we have Harbor Lights Foundation. So thank you so much. And then we also have our major sponsors that I wanted to thank: BHE Renewables, America General Media, 93.3 KZOZ Classic Rock Radio, and KSBY TV. We wouldn't be able to pull this festival off without you guys, so thank you so much to all of our sponsors. We are so appreciative. So Lisa, I did just want to kind of hear what your general inspiration was for this movie. It obviously is a very timely topic and something that is really important. And so, yeah, if you just want to kind of go into your inspiration for making this, that'd be awesome.
Feeling helpless about this terrible issue that we face every day in our society. Feeling helpless in so many ways. Like, why can't we get more guns off the streets? Why can't we have a national assault weapon ban? Why do people have to die? Why are we letting this happen? So I started writing my own anti-gun violence short satire, and my friend and famous writer Terry Rossio heard I was about to shoot a short, and he just happened to send me his, and he's like, "You don't know anybody that might want to shoot this, do you?" He said it so carefully and sweetly, and I said, "Oh my God, the script is so clever." So, with 5 days to go before production, I just completely shifted gears, and we made this short.
That's so cool. I didn't know that part of it, that it was kind of like a total transformation between what you were kind of originally intending and this one. And I'm kind of curious, just how did you feel about the fact that he was taking that kind of take on it? Was that kind of the take that you were going to take on it as well, if it was your version of the writing?
Completely 100% different.
Okay.
I was going to basically shoot a scene from a feature I'm writing called Triggered.
Okay.
And mine was, a cop and a guy who wanted to suicide by cop, and they come to some kind of an understanding, and it was just completely different.
Yeah.
Mine had an ending, a provocative ending that you had to decide where you kind of stood on gun control to figure out what might have happened there.
Interesting.
And Terry's clever take, I thought, just as you said, sold the message in a way that was so much easier to take. I don't know if you've seen some of the other anti-gun violence shorts that are just, oh my God, there's one that's so good and I couldn't possibly watch it again. It just destroys you.
I bet.
Shooting, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's so cool. And I think I read that you are thinking about making a feature film about kind of anti-gun violence. Is it narrative or documentary, or do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure, it's narrative. As I mentioned, it's called Triggered.
Right.
And I had it sort of planned out in my head, and I'm completely retooling it because of the pandemic. And because I think I've come around to having more confidence that I could raise money and make a lower budget feature on this topic, because I've made so many shorts, as opposed to trying to get studio backing for something like this. So yes, it's come full circle in my head to something much smaller in scope, but still large in terms of the issue.
Totally. I wanted to talk because in the short, there was a lot of representation of the American flag. Like there was, it was in the first guy, it was in his house, and then also outside of his house. And then I saw it on the classroom, and then I think it was on the little girl's backpack. So what was kind of your inspiration for, putting that so out there?
Right, and on the poster.
Yes.
It's a little
Yep.
dark, I can lighten it up, but Because I wanted to have a sense of Americana about this film because it's such a uniquely American problem.
Right.
That's why. And a lot of people watch it and those references are completely missed, and that's fine. It's just it's meant to be more of a permeation that just seeps into your pores without you really thinking about it.
Yeah, that's so cool. What were some of kind of the challenges or victories of kind of making this? Have you been able to, has it progressed into being able to get the word out there more? Has it, what have been some of either the adversities of it, of making it, or the victories in getting it out there?
So I think the adversities are the same adversities that any filmmaker faces with limited budget and big ideas. That you end up waiting a long time for people to do free work on your film. They're very committed and want to do it, but they need to pay the rent. And so this thing went through a lot of delays. For me personally, actually, my mother was in ICU when we were shooting part of it.
Oh,
Yeah, so that was really, really hard. I had zero sleep coming in to direct, and but I managed to do it, and I'm happy I did it. It was just the right time, and it was okay, and she was okay, and it worked.
good.
And for as far as everything else goes, just like everybody else during the pandemic, there's pluses and minuses with having a festival run. We're fortunate that Thoughts and Prayers has had a very good reception, and it's played now in over 30 festivals. And yeah, thanks. So I'm really getting familiar with the online drill, and there's some wonderful things about it. You get people that would never otherwise see your film get to see it.
Absolutely.
You get to meet filmmakers from all over the world. Like normally, if you go to a festival, I've now played, my shorts have played in 75 plus festivals. But normally you go to a film festival and, if there's somebody there from, I don't know, Nairobi, you're like, wow, how did you make that happen? Now, you meet them and it's such a pleasure to feel this worldwide film community. I'm sure you feel it too. It's love.
Really doing all these interviews and stuff, it's like we usually are obviously only able to do the filmmakers that come to the festival, which a lot of the time is just the filmmakers that are in California. So even just being able to reach out to the filmmakers that are in New York and Texas and Montana and all these other places and worldwide, it's been really, really cool. So there definitely is, there is some perks to this whole new virtual scene, and being able to get the festival to a different audience too has been kind of cool. So yeah, what are some websites or resources that people can kind of get either connected with you or connected and just learn more about gun violence and how we can kind of lessen that, obviously, and all that?
I'm so glad, Grace, that you're asking me that. I think you're the first one that's asked me that. Everybody asks about the film website, which is www.thoughtsandprayersmovie.com.
Perfect.
We have, follow us on Facebook, IG, and Twitter. Facebook, Thoughts and Prayers Movie. Just type it in, it'll pop up. IG and Twitter, it's T_and_P_movie. It's a mouthful, but you can find us. You can find us through me. There's some resources on the film website, ways to donate. We do want to, eventually after the festival run, we want the film to go viral. So we could use a little help with that. It'll cost some money for our famous song, etc.
Great.
As far as gun violence in general goes, I really like Everytown for gun violence. And I'm looking in my cheat sheets. I think you can just pop that in. But they have a wealth of statistics that are kind of easily easily digestible. And I think this is good because typically people who are going to be watching films at SLO are probably advocates for gun control. And, you know, you often will talk to gun owners, and I like Everytown because they're very respectful about gun owners and towards gun owners, because they're not trying to take guns out of the hands of people who want to be able to defend themselves if they're attacked in their homes.
Right.
Um, but but there's a lot of statistics about, for example, you'd be shocked at the number of suicides that happen. You know, when someone attempts to suicide by gun, I think there's a 96% completion rate, and it flips completely if they try it by any other means. You know, guns are final. You know, guns will do the trick if that's what you want to do. So and people will say yes, but if people want to commit suicide, they'll find a way to do it. It's not true. If they don't have access to guns, they don't suicide. So anyway, so Everytown for Gun Violence, I like a lot. There's the Brady organization. Everytownresearch.org has all the good statistics that you can cite. You know, if you want to talk to, you know, if you're a gun control advocate and you want to talk to somebody who's a gun owner, you can say, look, again, we're not trying to take away your guns, but take a look at these statistics.
I think that's awesome, because I think there is just such a misconception of whenever we say gun control, like what that means. So I think that's an awesome resource, and I think I'll try to link it on here somehow so that people can click on it afterwards and just kind of get educated on what all of it is and all the statistics behind it and everything. So thank you for telling us about that one.
My pleasure.
Do you have any final thoughts or anything that you want to leave with us about either the film that we didn't cover or yourself or anything?
You know, I guess I can talk about being a female director. I did a program at the American Film Institute called the Directing Workshop for Women. And that is a fabulous opportunity for female directors. If anyone's listening, look that up. But through that program, I learned so much about what a struggle it's been to get women in above the line positions, and the struggle continues today. Has it gotten better? Yes, it's gotten better. Look at the number. I think this year's Sundance, I think 48% of the competition films were directed by women. It was a high number.
Yeah. Wow.
That's, you know, a vast improvement. But I'm also a writer, and the number of writers in, you know, top 250 features and on TV is still lags. You know, there's some work to be done there. So I guess I would say to viewers, support female written and directed films. We need it.
Yes, definitely. Well, thank you so much, Lisa. It was so nice to get to talk to you and finally put a face to the name and everything. So thank you so much for just taking the time to kind of do this Q&A for our audience and give them a little inside scoop into, you know, your brain whenever you were making this and everything. So thank you.
Take care. Thank you.